Welcome back to the Objectively Bad podcast, guys. My name is Chad. I'm with my co-host Dan. How we doing today, Dan? How you doing?
I'm feeling pretty good.
That's nice.
A little bit demasculined. That's not the right word. Emasculated. That's the one.
Why do you feel that way?
I feel like my mustache is just not really comparing to that beautiful one on your face right now.
Yeah, look, I got some growth hormones here, and it's done wonders.
It has. It's also turned you blind?
Ginger.
Possibly. Ginger as well.
Blind and good at piano. Yeah. That's a funny thing. It's all blind people are actually good at piano. Do you know that?
Yes.
Yeah. True fact. No. So for everyone who's just listening and is just confused at what the hell we're talking about,
nothing is wrong and everything is as normal.
Nothing is wrong and Dan's just weird about my mustache.
Yeah.
No. I am wearing a pair of sunglasses that have a nose and a mustache.
Maybe explain it a bit further. Because
sure.
it's not a normal. It's not like a normal disguise.
It's not a normal disguise. My girlfriend and I are going to a Muppet murder mystery party in a month-ish from now. And so we've started making the costumes. And this is mine. I'm going as Floyd Pepper, who is the bassist in the band.
Of course.
You gotta rep. Also, the character's fun.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that you actually have a fun life, unlike me.
I wasn't gonna go there, but
well, it's kind of true.
It's okay, Dan. How is it true, Dan?
You go to Muppet murder mystery parties with your girlfriend. I sit at home and play GTA with strangers on the internet.
Tomato.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am going to take these off because I can only kind of see. My peripheral is really blocked.
Is that important for a podcast?
Not really. I could just have my eyes closed the whole time.
Sure.
Maybe I'm kind of nodding off slowly during this podcast.
To be fair, half of the episodes I'm wearing sunglasses most of the time, so it's not that
true. So it's
character.
my turn. It's my turn.
It is a bit scary though.
Okay, well, I don't know about scary.
No, it's scaring me how attracted I am to you right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, same could be said about
I'm just blushing a bit.
Yourself.
Thank you. Yeah. Is that because my hair has finally come back after many months?
Yes, it is.
I'm not bald anymore.
You've always been a sexy man, Dan.
Thank you. I'm finally not bald anymore. I think this is.
You were never bald.
People call me bald. I think I'm now back to the short as my hair has been previously. I think it's been like this before.
It's starting to look more like your normal haircut,
which is
it's got a little bit of spiking to it.
Well,
I don't think the shaved head was bad.
That's on purpose. The spiking.
It is on purpose or isn't?
Is.
No, that's what I was saying. Is I figured that was on purpose.
Yeah, because otherwise it just kind of looks a bit worse. So I still have the M-ish hairline. I've just had that for years though. So there was this really weird, awkward in-between phase where it was pronounced much more, and that's when I got roasted the most. It doesn't help that my camera shines down on it with light as well.
Yeah.
It just makes it look so much worse than in person. But speaking about outfits, I guess.
Sure.
I'm technically doing sacrilege right now on our podcast, Chad.
Oh.
And I do apologize.
And what is the sacrilege you speak of?
I am currently wearing the merch of another podcast.
Oh,
which is
there's only one podcast, and it's us. There's no other.
Unfortunately, that's not the case. I'm wearing some Trash Taster merch right now. If you can see.
Yeah, you do like those guys.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite podcast out there. But it's honestly a bit of the inspiration.
Except for this one,
of course. Bit of the inspiration for this name a little bit. Trash Taste, Objectively Bad. There's some similarities though.
There's some similarities.
Of course, you don't know fucking anything about them. That's just my whole thing.
I don't know. I have watched some clips that I think you've told me to watch.
Yeah. They do it good.
That's about it.
Good podcast.
They're good. I enjoy it.
Yeah. But speaking about good stuff, what do you have planned for us today?
There we go. So last time, Dan, we tried some drafts. because we're trying some. We did, yes. I don't know if you were there for that or not.
My alter
but it did
personality
happen.
was.
I don't know what to do with that.
Do what you will, what you wish, what you want.
Okay. Is this like a prestige situation?
No.
You haven't seen that movie.
I still haven't seen it.
It's a good movie.
You've told me about it on multiple occasions.
Okay, a little segue. I referenced that last night. I was hanging out with some people, and they were talking about The Parent Trap.
Oh, great movie.
Where there's two Lindsay Lohans, and they're like, "Oh man, one has an earring and one doesn't. We gotta give the other one an earring." And I sat there and I went, "It's like The Prestige," and all of them hadn't seen the movie. So I was like, "Okay, let me explain this very different movie." And essentially, it's two magicians of the 1800s. They have to clone them. They clone themselves, and Christian Bale clones himself, and he's constantly switching out with the other one. But Hugh Jackman, no, hear me out, Dan. I've
heard you out multiple times already.
Shoots Christian Bale, and he loses a finger, so the other one also has to lose his finger. And that's how those two very different movies have a similarity.
Yep.
I think getting an ear piercing and cutting a finger off is relatively similar. They're in the same vein.
How about I get an ear piercing and you cut your finger off and we'll decide afterwards if it's the same thing?
Never mind. What if we did the other thing? What if we flipped it?
Oh, no, I prefer the piercing personally.
Yeah, I would too. But like, relatively similar.
Yeah.
Anyways,
one's a puncture into your skin. The other's a puncture through into everything.
Well, not everything.
Well, your skin, your muscle, your bone, your veins.
Yeah, okay, that's a lot of it. Yeah, that's
most of it.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest place you can get a piercing?
I mean, feasibly, you can get a piercing wherever, right?
Could you get a piercing like on your heart? Would that be possible?
Probably not on your heart. Maybe over your, like on the skin. Sorry, I think you can get a piercing on any skin. I feel like if you pierced your heart, it would just like bleed out, and or it just wouldn't work.
No, I feel because I feel like you could get a piercing on like. You could get a piercing on your brain and you'd be fine, depending on where it is. People have had half their brain shot out with like a bullet before, and they've still been functional.
True. Yes, that is true.
What if like a piercing person, I don't know what the fuck they're called, becomes like a surgeon, and like they're like specialties that like they just pierce an organ every time they go under.
I just like the idea that they leave little things.
Yeah.
So you get like some work done on your brain or something like that, and they're like, I'm just gonna leave this little stud in there, and then like a year later you get an MRI and they're like, actually that might kill you because MRIs are really strong magnets, and if you have something metal in you, they need to know about that. And there's a chance that if you have an unknown metal stud in your brain, that could kill you. I don't know.
It's like one of those things, like what's a small nuisance you could do to someone to like ruin their daily life? Put a piercing inside someone, so whenever they're at the airport, they keep going through and keep getting scanned, and like the beeper goes off every time. They're like, I can't, I'm naked. There's nothing on me, I promise. They find out,
I promise.
I got a stud on my liver from like an operation 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That'd be rough.
Oh. Yeah.
Thing is, I don't think you'd feel it because most of your internal organs are numb. They have no like like your intestines, for example.
Well, they don't have
like sensation.
Yeah,
I think your esophagus does because you can feel like heartburn and shit. I think that's the only one that really has like a real feeling to it or sense to it. Everything else is numb.
Dan, I will believe whatever you tell me. With absolute unwavering
belief.
I'm on belief. Yeah,
I will keep that in mind.
Yeah. Really hold that dear. Don't quote me on it. You fucking quote me on it.
All right.
This is bad. I did a bad thing.
It's objectively bad.
It's objectively bad. It all comes back.
It does. All right, let's get into whatever you have planned for today.
Yeah, so last week we did some drafts. I had a good time doing that. I hope other people did too. And I wanted to try another thing, which is some would you rather questions. I have gone on to the most reputable site, which is Cosmopolitan. And they have hell yeah. And they have, I think this article is like 250, and they have like different categories. And I skipped the first half because all of them were like boring. And then they had a category which was weird ones. So I'm gonna pick some. I might also like change some. Like I'll take the premise and then change it around. But I'll warm me up, Dan. Where would you rather be stranded in? The middle of the ocean on a rowboat, or in the middle of the desert on foot?
Which desert?
Desert. A desert. Standard classic desert.
Okay, the reason I ask is because, like, depending on the size of the desert, because also depending on the size of the ocean, I guess. Because if you're lost in the middle of the Pacific, you're fucked.
No, you're stranded.
Yeah, but there's different lengths of being stranded. Being in the middle of the Pacific Ocean is very different to the middle of the Indian Ocean. I know I'm being really fucking pedantic, but that's just
I'll deal with that.
You could just say like Pacific Ocean and Sahara Desert, the two biggest ones.
Sure. We'll go with those
more simply. And I would by far choose the desert, no doubt about it.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know. I might pick the rowboat.
Yeah?
Why do you pick the desert? I guess that's the question.
The reason why I picked the desert is because even though it's still a very harsh environment, bright sun, little water, I think you have more control over your direction and choices there. That's true. If you're on a rowboat in the ocean, sure you can paddle, but realistically you're going to be thrown about by the waves and just get taken to wherever the waves want to take you. You're also the chance of coming across other people in the desert is probably a lot higher since there are a lot of like nomadic tribes that sometimes wander through deserts. So there's a slightly better chance there. And also I feel like in the ocean there's a lot more like instant death situations compared to in the desert.
Sure.
In the desert you're probably going to die just from dehydration and just like over time. In the ocean you could just die in a really bad storm or get eaten by a shark or whatever.
True.
So I don't know. I feel like the ocean, the way I see it, the ocean, you probably could survive longer due to like rain and shit, giving you water and like fish for food. But I think the chance of you having like I think the chance of you actually surviving is probably higher in the desert, just because the chance of like instant death and like you might come across people is probably a bit better. But
I think the thing with like, I also, when I read that question, I was like, yeah, I'm not living either way. I feel like the ocean, I mean, it depends. I feel like the desert always is just gonna suck. Like it's just gonna be hot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very hot. I guess that, yes, there are parts of deserts that are actually not that hot.
That's why you probably try and find shelter and then move in the night is what people recommend.
I'm thinking like no shelter in either way. Like stranded in the fullest of extents. Like you're in the middle of the desert. It'll take you like a year to get out or something like that. And I guess...
What fucking desert are you in, brother?
I don't know. Deserts are big.
Oh, yeah.
Takes a while to walk places. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It could take you a year.
I think the only way it would take you a year to get out of the desert is if you were just like walking in circles.
Well, that's it. Well, that's the thing, is that's actually pretty easy to do.
Yeah, but you try and like follow the sun, like use the cardinal directions to go somewhere.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Do you know how to do that?
Yes, the sun rises in the east.
See, you're already wavering.
No, I was thinking in my head which way the sun rises from where I am now, and that's east.
That's where it always rises.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just thinking,
like in your house, like in my house, which direction?
Way, yeah. Because I always forget east and west, but I can picture it like that. Yeah, so I try my best to like stay as sane as possible, which I know is not difficult to stay sane when you're dehydrated and everything. But just always keep going the same way. And when I say take shelter, I don't mean like I'm gonna find like a cave or a tree. I mean like if the sun's rising in the morning and on that side, try and go on like a sand dune hill that's being blocked. There's obviously going to be a few hours in a day where like shade's pretty much impossible. But for the most part, like you can like in the morning and evening, you can probably take some sort of like half shade, and then in the night you just walk and just you hope.
Yeah, I do think you have more ability to move around in a desert.
Yeah.
I think the one thing about an ocean is like, yeah, the ocean's massive. You're probably not going to stumble across someone. But if someone is in a boat anywhere near you, the ocean's flat for the most part.
You saying Earth is flat, Chad?
Yes.
Cool.
You can probably see farther than you would in a desert, because a desert, I think, is more like up and down with like sand dunes and that kind of thing. I guess if the water is like has big waves, then it might. But I feel like in the middle of the ocean, it's probably fine.
I think it's about the same, to be honest, because the horizon wouldn't be much different.
My fucking nose is bleeding.
Wow, look at this boy.
God damn it.
Damn, blood on the screen. Blur the screen.
Blur the screen.
Can't have blood
Demonetization. Here, let me just...
Okay, you're just showing it to the camera now.
Yeah, I know. All right. Fuck.
Damn, what a loser. Gets nosebleeds when he's 22
God
years old.
Damn it. This is the second one today, too.
Damn, what's going on?
I have a fucked up nose. All right, let me go deal with this.
Yeah, you go have fun.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Well, that's truly tragic. Who would have seen that coming? Not me. I never get nosebleeds because I'm cool. Isn't that right, guys?
I feel like you're talking shit about me.
I am definitely talking shit about him.
That doesn't make me feel good.
I don't know if you can hear what he's saying, but it doesn't matter. He's not the important one on this channel anyways. It's all me, baby. It's all me. Now I just got to decide whether I keep this going and keep speaking or just wait for him to get back. I don't really know. If you are watching this and you are currently here, write in the comments. Chad is a baby nosebleed boy. He doesn't even really check the comments, so it'll just be insulting him when he doesn't see it, so that's funny. Okay, we're back. Chad has a white thing up his nose, and it's not cocaine.
Yeah, I do. It's not the fun kind.
No.
Sadly. Give a whole new spin to this this podcast.
It would definitely elevate it a little bit, wouldn't it?
It would do something for sure.
I'm also standing now.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Just for fun.
Just wanted to. My ass was getting sore.
Want to.
Due to other circumstances. No. Just from sitting.
Yeah, sitting.
Yeah.
Sure, Dan. I know how you get your money.
Cool. Well, would you rather?
Oh, yeah.
Next one. I think we're pretty much done with the desert topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think just
they
final
suck.
thing. I think the idea of being in the ocean, I feel more helpless there. I feel like in the desert, I can at least control what I do every day. Whereas in the ocean,
I guess that's true.
You're more so just like a slave to the wave.
Kind of just floating adrift. Yeah. That was fun. I like that.
I nearly fell over.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go back to do it even more. Now you're just falling over.
Ooh, I'm dancing for
That's
audio
fun.
listeners.
Yeah, he's doing a little wave motion.
I'm like one of the guys at the car, like sales, the big like.
Yeah, the big like red blow up guys. Yeah,
that's me.
You should go as that for Halloween one year.
That'd be cool, except I don't have friends who go to Halloween.
Fair enough.
Too. Also, Australia doesn't really celebrate it like the
I was gonna ask, is Halloween big in Australia?
When you're a kid, kind of, yeah. Like I
Sure.
went trick-or-treating when I was like 5 to 10 years old.
Yeah.
There's a decent amount of houses that do it, but it's like nowhere. I think once you get past like 14, I don't think anyone really does it anymore.
Okay.
You might see Halloween parties in like college, like and stuff, but
that's just an excuse to party.
Yeah, past that, not really. No.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
I kind of wish it was bigger because like seeing like American movies and TV shows, Halloween's a really fun thing all the time. No one else does it.
It's fun.
Ah well.
All right, let's see.
Question number 2.
Question number 2. I read this one and I feel like there's an obvious answer, but I'm curious what you tell me. Would you rather have a permanent friendly ghost in your home or a scary one who visits once a month?
Friendly? What?
Yeah, obviously. I feel like it's a weird question because, like, oh no, I have a friend.
Yeah, I guess it's like how obtrusive it is, but if he's just like chilling, fuck it.
If he's see, the thing is, I see it as if he's friendly and you're like, hey, I'm gonna do my thing. Can you fucking leave? He'd be like, yeah. If he wouldn't, then he wouldn't be friendly.
Okay, I think I have a better would you rather that sort of plays a line that this one was trying to play but fucked it a little bit.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a friendly ghost that lives in your house 24/7, but he looks terrifying, like nightmare fuel, scares the shit out of you, but you know he would never attack you. He's just like
but you know you're chilling. Like he's just like fucking.
He's chill, maybe a bit shy. He always hides around corners, but he will never do anything to you. Or once a month, you have an evil spirit person that tries to get into your house, and you have to like stop it from getting in.
I would wonder if the like stopping it from getting in, like, does this ghost learn, or can you just be like, we gotta set the traps again? Like, do you know when it's gonna happen, or is it random?
Say it's always the 31st day of the month. Or like, or no, say it is random.
It's always the 13th.
It's always random, but you get like, say like 6 hour notice that in 6 hours, big boy's coming to fuck your shit up. They might learn, but not to like an extreme degree. Like like one day they may try and get in through the door, the next might be the window, and let's say it's not a ghost. Let's say it's just like a person,
like a demon,
Oh,
just a person,
something that can't phase through walls. So they actually have to physically get in to hurt you.
Like they have to physically get it. Okay.
Yeah. So like that once a month with a 6 hour warning can happen any day though, or and it's wherever you are. So like if you're at a hotel or something, they can still come. Or a ghost that is friendly will never harm you, but is terrifying. Like will always give you a heart attack when you go around the corner a little bit because you forget about it, and it always scares you a little bit. It's completely friendly, harmless.
I feel like still the friendly one.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. You're saying no matter what, every time it's terrifying.
It's always like something that would like you'd be like your sleep paralysis demon, like always terrifying around the corner.
And you don't get used to it. Because the problem is, I think the argument is you go, oh, well, I'll get used to it. It's fine.
I'm sure you get used to it. But it's always just something that maybe it evolves every so often. So like it keeps up to always give you a little get you a little bit scared.
Sure.
It's always going to be uneasy to be around it.
How long do I have to fight this thing? Or not fight it, but like stop this thing that's trying to get in? Like, is it like a full day? Is it like
let's say it gets to your house at 10 p.m. and it stays. Oh, let's say it gets to your house at 6 p.m. and it will stop trying to get in at 12 at midnight.
Okay.
So 6 hours a month of trying to stop this demon creature from getting in, and if it gets in, it wouldn't kill you, but it would severely like injure you, scare you, fuck up your house and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. I think at first you'd want the scary one, or like the scary but harmless one. Mm-hmm. I think eventually it's almost a little bit fun to like fight off the thing once a month.
That's what I was kind of thinking as well. It's like a little challenge.
I think it'd be a little challenge. You're like, you wake up. It's like you wake up in the day and it's like, it's coming today, and you're like, time
to try my new strategies.
Yeah, you're like, what can I do today? But it's also the question of how effective is it? Because like, if it just gets you every time, that sucks. But like, I don't know if it's a good challenge. That kind of sounds like fun.
Like, let's say it's a thing where like, it's a thing that you could feasibly beat in a fight, but it's tough. Like, it's not going to be it's like closer towards like the peak of like what humans could achieve in terms of physicality. It's like if you need to get past it, you can't just like fist fight it. You need to like have tools or like barricade.
It's stronger than you, or you need to like
it's always going to be
weapon on you.
If it's a fist to fist fight, it's always going to be stronger than you. So you need to outsmart it or outwit it or out protect yourself or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'd go for that one as well, because once a month isn't so debilitating. I feel like every day, always having something just like around the corner that is a bit unnerving, uneasy. It's like it's the type of thing that it's always in the corner of your eye. You can always see it, always a bit scary. I feel like it would just even if you know it can't harm you, I feel like it would damage you psychologically over time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas the other one, it's scary, but it's almost just like you have a boxing match or some shit every month. So
yeah, kind of.
It's not as bad, I don't think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
Fair.
I got one for you. It's I'm kind of taking a spin on this. So, would you rather always have to wait 30 minutes for your food? Like you go to like a restaurant, and I'm talking more like the fast casual where like you walk up, you order, you probably get your food within like 5-10 minutes.
Always
like,
30 minutes.
Like I'm not talking like a wait stat. Like you go, like you sit down, they take your order. I'm talking
like a McDonald's.
A McDonald's, yeah. Always have to wait 30 minutes from when you get there.
Okay.
But it's always free, or you get it immediately once you get there, but it's always double the cost.
Always free. Easily. 30-minute wait.
Yeah. I think because you could just plan for that, and the amount of money you could save.
I think for me,
it's also to some degree you could just not eat dinner.
Yeah, for me as well. Due to the fact that I don't have like a regular 9-to-5 job, if I go to Macca's and sit in there, one, it's not like I'm on like company time. I could also like do work there. That's true. If you have like, even if you have a 9-to-5 job where you take home work, you could just go sit at the McDonald's or wherever the fuck you go, take your laptop and do work while you're waiting for the food. It's not enough of a irritation to where it's, not worth it or whatever.
True. You do have to plan for it though. Is the thing.
Do.
Here's the deal. Imagine you're hanging out with some like friends and they're like, oh, let's go to McDonald's, and you go there and you're like, it's gonna be 30 minutes free. Like everyone is eaten by that point.
Yeah, true.
But free food.
It is always free.
Which is pretty cool. And here's the deal. It's never like, oh, I'll order it now and I'll get it there. No, it's you walk into the door, it's 30 minutes.
But the thing is, it's not that it's longer than 30 minutes. It's always on the dot 30 minutes, right?
That's true. Sometimes that could even be better.
Yeah, I think that can be great because you walk in there, you always know. So like say you have a routine in your day where you do like 30 minutes of reading. Easy. You can just go in there, do reading.
Yeah.
Also, do you have to wait in the restaurant the whole time, or could I go up order? Oh, okay.
Nah, you gotta wait in the restaurant.
Because if you could go up, order, then go on a walk or something and come back, that'd be better.
Nah, I think you gotta wait in the restaurant for it.
Okay. In a similar, I was watching a Would You Rather like list of things on TikTok yesterday, and in a similar, it had a free food one as well. But it was probably the stupidest Would You Rather question I've ever seen.
Okay.
And the vote was split in a way that baffled me. So it was, would you rather have free food for the rest of your life?
Okay.
Or, it was free food for the rest of your life, or it was like infinite money for the rest of your life. And I was like, well, like
money. Because then you could just get the food.
Yeah,
and other things.
And it was like 65-35 for money. I was like, guys, what?
Guys.
What do you mean?
I love seeing the ones where, look, there are some really good Would You Rathers out there because it's like there are actually differences. There are some where they're just trying to make you do math. They're like, would you rather you get 3 million now or you make $1 a minute? Like, it's like, it's the like amount per time. And it's like, there's just a better answer. I think where they get you is you sit there and you're like doing the math for multiple minutes. So it's you're watching the video multiple times.
I also do think with those ones, there is a bit of a thing of like, would you rather have one giant lump sum of money or would you rather get consistent cash over time? Because I think we had a conversation before the podcast, Chad and I were talking about finances a little bit. And like, we're talking about how like a lot of like NFL players or athletes, once they finish their career and they're not making millions a month anymore, millions a year, they kind of just lose everything.
Yeah.
So like there is benefit. Like say, would you rather 10 million in 10 years or $1,000 a week now on? I don't know if those numbers add up to any sort of similar thing, but just example. Even though the 10 million may be way more, the fact of getting 1,000 a week and having that just consistent cash flow that you know you can spend and save, it's almost nicer, in my opinion.
Yeah.
To have that.
I'd have to do the math on how they equate because I think you could make the argument of like, get the 10 million and put it in stocks and blah, 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 and whatever. But I agree. If you tell me like, I'll give you $1 million now or like 10 million now, or I'll give you like, 1,000 a week and eventually it's going to equate to the same thing. I'd rather that because the consistency of getting that money is great. It's also, if I get $1 million now, I'm more tempted to blow it.
Exactly. Yeah. Whereas if you
and
get
it's like
if you get $1 million over
sucks.
the course of a year, you can't really blow it all at once unless you plan to save it.
No.
It's much better, especially because the way I live my life, like I don't really care about super expensive things. So if I could get $10,000 a week for the rest of my life, bro,
dude,
take me.
So nice.
Take me.
Take me
Like
there.
I don't need 10 million. If that's all you, well, I think that would get to 10 million eventually. But you know what I mean. Having that just consistent source of financial security.
It'd get to 10 million
in
I think about 2 years.
Yeah.
Ish, a little less. Yeah. That's the dream right there.
It is.
No, it's always weird. You'll get ones where it's like there's a bunch of different things, but one of them is just encompasses all. Because yeah, if you go infinite money, you could just do anything with infinite money because money is power, and that's like just you could just do whatever you want, essentially.
Pretty much.
So all the other stuff like doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, I think my favorite type of would you rathers are the ones that have positives and drawbacks to each side of them.
Yeah.
Like I think there's a lot of ones like with like superhero type stuff. It's like, would you rather have Spider-Man's powers, but you can never like take off the mask and share your identity with anyone, so you're always alone? Or would you rather have like Superman's powers, or you can have Batman's wealth, but you can. I'm trying to think of a fucking downside to it, but you have to live in Gotham. I don't know.
You have to live in the slums.
Yeah.
You can only use that for crime fighting and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are interesting because there are both positive. Yeah, when there's just positives, it's like you just find the thing that's a higher positive.
Yeah.
But when there's both positives and negatives,
you have
to weigh like, is one positive higher than the other? But also, does that compare to the negatives? Are they higher or lower? And those are a lot more interesting. Yeah, no, the ones where it's like this, or this, and I'm like, any of them, they're all good. Yeah. And usually one of them is like definitively the best.
And that also just takes you into just general hypotheticals. Like the idea of like, would you take Spider-Man's power set, but you could never like form a real connection with anyone like as yourself? You could always just be Spider-Man to everyone.
Yeah.
Would you take that?
Oh, probably not. Even though that'd be really... Well, here's the question. Does your identity just become Spider-Man?
No, so you yourself are still Chad. You know that.
Okay.
But no one can know you as Chad. Everyone just knows you as Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I feel like eventually you just turn into like...
That would just become your identity, basically.
That would just become your identity. But then there's the whole point of like the secret identity is like to save like your loved ones so that like they don't get targeted and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I'd say like the situation is like you're Spider-Man, for example, and you basically have like an illusion spell over you, so everyone just always sees you as Spider-Man no matter what. You're working a desk job, but it's just Spider-Man working a desk job.
You look like Spider-Man.
They don't see you.
Yeah.
So like maybe you could still like have a relationship, but they just see you as Spider-Man.
They just see you as Spider-Man.
There's no you there at all. So you're basically
probably not.
You're basically just being this perpetual like thing of like no one knows the real me.
Yeah.
And you're stuck inside.
No, that would like. I think it would fuck with your mind and also just be super lonely.
Yeah, it'd be really fucking lonely.
And at that point, I feel like if you're just depressed, then what's like, or not what's the point, but like, if you're just in constant depression and nothing, I don't know. I feel like that would be too much because there's no way out. Like, there's no way out.
Yeah.
That's rough. That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Probably not. I don't know. What do you think? Would you?
The thing is, I don't. As much as people say Earth and the world is getting worse these days, I don't think there's actually enough of that type of like crime and interest that being a superhero in the real world would make sense. Like,
yeah. Oh, are we assuming? Are there like Spider-Man villains as well? Because I figured there was.
No, just.
Oh, you're just Spider-Man.
Just on Earth.
in real world.
Yeah.
Huh. No.
Like, you could do the...
Because, I don't think there'd be enough to do. I
Yeah.
feel like you'd become a performer, not an actual crime fighter.
You could do the
It'd be
friendly
like The
neighborhood
Boys.
Spider-Man stuff. Like, you could stop a bank robber or someone stealing a bike, but there'd be like...
Yeah, but even then, I don't think there's that many bank robberies.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, similar to in the comics, I think the police would be like, you're a vigilante, fucking stop, otherwise we'll arrest you.
Yeah. No, honestly, I don't think it would work out very... Like,
or you'd get enlisted
I think you'd
into the
become
army.
a performer.
You get enlisted to the army
Yeah.
and, like, help on the front lines
But
of war.
even then, like... I think if it was like a 100 years ago, maybe. But even now, it's like most of our battles aren't really fight like person to person.
True.
And Spider-Man's not that strong. Like if you had Superman, he could just be your ultimate weapon. But like,
I guess Spider-Man could probably be in like a Navy SEALs like hit team or something. Not the front
I can
lines
see
of an army.
that. Yeah, actually, he would make a very good like, like Navy SEALs or that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's another question.
Okay.
This one's going to test your morality a little bit.
Oh.
So, would you rather be paid $1 million a year, $1 million a year, to be a hitman?
Okay.
But you'll never get charged for any of the murders you commit. It's always someone contacts you through some sort of means. Say you have to kill one person a week. One person a week, you don't know anything about them. The only details you get are their name and location where you need to kill them.
And how to kill them. Yeah.
And how to kill them. But you don't know about their families, their job, anything like that. So
they could be good people, they could be horrible people.
Exactly. So once a week, so 52 murders a year. Well, let's say $10 million. Let's up at $10 million.
Okay.
Or let's say you are someone who saves people from hitmen. You save one person a week for 52 weeks of the year, but you only make $30K a year. Almost not enough to even get by.
So here's the question. Do I know that the people I'm saving are good people or not?
I think if you're on the side of the saving people, you know if they're good people. Like they're all good people. Like
you're doing a good thing.
You're doing an objectively good thing. Whereas if you're the hitman, it could be good. You don't know.
It could just be a political thing.
It could be a political. Could be a
you could be killing someone bad.
Wife.
Yeah.
You could be just killing a sports fan's least favorite player. Like you never know. It's anonymous. So where's your morality come in?
Oh God. See, I feel like the correct answer should be saving people, and I'm still debating in my head. Because I think, let's say I'm gonna talk through this. Let's say I take the hitman route.
Yep.
I think eventually you just kind of flip a switch in your brain, and you're like, I just gotta do this.
And you just wouldn't really see life as this like really special thing. You're like, I just gotta do this for the money.
Yeah. Or maybe I think you can kind of lie to yourself and live in denial. Maybe be like, there's a reason these people want to be killed.
Yep.
I'm going to assume that they're bad and I'm doing something maybe not good, but less bad.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I'll add something to the hitman role. No one knows you're a hitman, but you're also not allowed to talk to anyone about it. So you can't go to therapy. You can't talk to your partner or your friends. So all that has to bottle up inside you. The moral standpoint of it.
Well, if I've learned anything as a man, bottling up those are emotions.
Yeah, let's get the drinks,
Bottle them up, baby. Just a couple beers and some Creed and some darts in my basement. That's all I need.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. See, I feel like I probably wouldn't want to talk about it, but taking away like the therapist, because you could just sit there and be like heavy therapy.
Yep.
But at some point, I think you just I want a sitcom where it's a therapist for like really bad people, because I think that could be entertaining. Yeah, and that's besides the point.
Okay, well let's because your whole thing is like, oh, okay, you can get used to it. Let's say these two options, it's a 1 year deal. 1 year, 52 murders, and then you're out.
Oh, I think I might take the murders.
Yeah, for 10 mil.
Maybe, I don't know, because like the money's really good, and I think I can lie to myself and be like, they're all bad people. Because I could be right.
Yeah, you could.
Or I could be wrong, and I don't know. I just think the money's so low on the other end. But I guess if it's only a year.
The other one's for 10 years.
Yeah, shit. And you're making 30 a year.
30 a year for 10 years or 10 mil in 1 year.
Look, morally, I should pick the second one. But I don't have to actually commit to these two things. I think I'm going to go for the hitman.
Okay. 10 mil a year for 52 murders of people you don't know?
10 mil a year to sell my soul.
All right, would you do it for 5?
Yeah.
Would you do it for 4?
I'll stop at 2.
Okay.
Let's go. I think I'll stop. Yeah.
All right.
What about you? What do you think? Or are you going to be morally upright?
No, I'd probably take it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think 52 murders, you're probably going to be killing about like 46 good people, if we're being real.
I mean, we don't know that. I feel like for someone to like hire a hitman, I don't know. I feel like there's got to be at least.
Yeah, possibly.
I feel like people don't casually hire a hitman for people that they just don't like, unless they're like rich or something.
Yeah, true.
I mean, although I could see like maybe like gang activity, like a big like gang or something like that. Maybe being like, all right, this is like I could see like political enemies.
Yeah, sure.
Being killed, and maybe like they're not bad people. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think I'd do it and try and view it in like a utilitarian way where like I'll kill these 52 people, get my 10 mil, and then use some of that wealth to help a bunch more people afterwards.
Yeah, I think you could kind of look at it and go, I really fucked up. Or I did something bad. I'm gonna repay this.
Yeah. I think morally it's not great, but how many people die a day? Another 52. It is what it is.
If you do the relativity of life, then yeah, what's the difference of 52 a year?
Yeah, it's similar to the question like, would you press a button for $1 million, but it randomly, like completely randomly, kills 1,000 people?
Completely. Oh, 1,000 people.
Yep. Indiscriminate, random, like a Thanos snap. Sure. You get $1 million. Could be your girlfriend. Could be your mum. Could also be a person on the brink of death due to diabetes. Like,
sure. Could be a random person. Could be a thug. Could be a neurosurgeon. Weirdly, I want to say no, and I think it's that if I don't do it, I just don't get money, and it's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like with the hitman one, it's either like morally gray to bad life, but like good money, and then you're out after a year, to morally upstanding life, but nothing else is really
going for you. Yeah.
Going for you.
And you could even make the argument, is the moral downside of indiscriminately murdering 52 people as bad as like companies that run sweatshops in like Southeast Asia?
Oh god, no.
Because that's ruining thousands of lives for years and years and generations, arguably.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you have people who are like, you should drive less because of like gas emissions. Like, yeah, that's true. It's bad. But also most of the emissions of like greenhouse gases come from like 50 companies or something like, or even less than that. I don't know. Yeah. It's like, they're really the ones who are doing it. We're making such a tiny, like, oh no, my carbon footprint's bad. Well, what's BP's carbon footprint? It's a little bigger, isn't it?
It's also the same reason, and if there's a vegan in here, they're going to roast me. It's the same reason when the vegans make the argument of like, oh, you should stop eating meat. I'm like, if you could,
gotta get everyone to do it.
If you could get like a couple billion, maybe, but like one person at a time is not going to change anything.
Yeah,
that's like, yeah.
And it's such a hard thing because there's a lot of like things in life where it's like, I'm gonna do better about this, but then you look at it and you're like, relatively, like, if I do this and no one else is doing it, what's the point?
Yeah, it's one of my...
But also, that's not how things work.
I don't know the name of it, but it's one of my favorite concepts, and I've talked to you about this before. It's the idea, and I was doing this with the money as well. It's like the idea of like, what's the limit of something before you stop or start doing something?
Yeah.
So like we had a friend in high school who went to a party he wasn't invited to. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. I know
And
what
they
you're
were
talking
like,
about.
we have 30 people. You're the 31st. That's too much.
Yeah.
Realistically, adding one extra person to party is not going to make much of a difference.
It doesn't make a difference.
But then,
at what point do you cut people off?
exactly, it's one of my favorite like philosophical like conceptual ideas. Like, at what point does something start? Like with the whole like veganism movement, at what point does it become a tipping point where it's actually making a significant difference? I'd argue it'd have to be like over 1 billion people that stop eating meat.
Probably.
Because the meat industry is not going to just stop because a few thousand or a few 100,000 stop eating meat. Like, it's not going to be the case.
Well, I'll take the same thing, but I'll kind of flip the argument. Is you have that with voting. People go, I'm just one vote. What does it matter?
Yep.
But when everyone does that, it does matter. And it's like, that's why you should vote.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of, I think, flips it to where like, no, you should, because it does matter. Because again, if you say that, the next person says it, next person says next, all these people go, well, I'm just not going to vote. Whatever, like I'm just one person. Well, if you say that, someone else might have that idea and that can spread.
Exactly.
But also other people are just gonna have that idea. Just do it. But at the same time, meat tastes really good.
Yeah.
So
that's a good way to end that one.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I had one. So a little bit different. 2 different scenarios. Would you rather 1 hour a day, random hour, your socks are soaking wet?
Cool.
Just 1 hour a day, and like it's like an instant thing. Like you'll just be walking and like all of a sudden it's just wet, and then after the hour, like on the dot, it's like boom, it's dry.
Okay.
You can't take them off. You got to keep them on. Take your shoes off if you want, but like you got to keep the socks on.
Okay.
Or you can never wear socks again.
Ooh. Does the wetness of the socks, like if I'm sitting on my couch and my feet are on the couch and they get wet, does the couch then get wet, or is it just the sensation of your feet in the socks?
Oh, I think the sensation.
Okay, if it's just the sensation, I'll do that.
If it's more than that, and the thing is, like, okay, let's say it does get things wet, because I agree. I think just the sensation you just get used to.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they do get wet, it will get your things wet. Now here's the deal: it's wet socks. There's only so much water.
Yeah,
it's not like it's like ruining a couch.
No.
But like the couch is wet, and like your shoes are now wet on the inside.
Yep. Okay, a different question.
Okay.
When does this only happen when you're wearing socks, or do you? Because if I don't wear socks that day, does it just not happen that day, or do they spawn on me for 1 hour?
Ooh, now that's a good question.
Because like I go days without wearing socks. If I'm not like I wear like slides to go down to the shops a lot of the time. So like there'll be days where I don't wear socks.
Nah, it's once a day, and this also counts for at night. I will say that doesn't necessarily wake you up. It probably will at first and then eventually won't, but also like part of your bed is going to be wet.
The only thing I'm thinking is that how quickly can the human foot adapt to wearing shoes without socks in terms of like blisters and things?
Here's the deal. That sock is still going to, for like the other
option.
Oh, I don't know.
Because I reckon like for most of my day, I could probably get around just wearing slides or flip-flops everywhere.
Sure.
Thongs, yep. I'd probably choose no socks. The only time where like I actively wear socks is when I'm wearing shoes and go out on a walk. But like my dad doesn't wear socks when wearing shoes a lot of the time, and he's chill. You just get used to it. You just build calluses on your feet. And then the other time was when I get cold. But like I guess I could always just like put on like slippers or something, and that's not a sock, and like you could get by with it. Like just wear like
you can get away
like an
with
Ugg
it.
boot or some shit.
Yeah,
and also when were socks invented? Like humans lived without socks before. Fuck it, no socks.
Okay, when were socks?
I'm gonna guess like the 1100s.
Oh, dude, like
earlier.
Super early. So Google initially is just like,
BC.
they've probably been Yeah, they're like, there's probably like thousands of years to some degree.
You know, that probably makes sense. There'd be very different types
clothing
of
has
socks,
existed
though,
for so long.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So like, it's an easy thing to make.
Yeah.
I think I might take the Soggy socks, and it's purely because I wear socks all the time.
Yeah, fair. Like, I'm not wearing socks right now. I don't. Yeah.
I'm actually not wearing socks right now, but I'm just in my house. But like, when I'm working, I'm wearing socks.
Yeah.
It'd be really weird. I feel like it'd be weird not to. I guess with the shoes I have, but
yeah, you could get used. There's also like
I'm also just not like a flip flop guy, so like I just tend to wear shoes with socks.
That's fair.
Almost no matter what.
Yeah, there's also a lot of shoes that have been developed nowadays that like have that inbuilt sort of sock texture, like the fabric.
True.
You could probably get away with wearing those.
That's true. I just think I'd get used to it, and maybe I'd like make or buy shoes where they're just waterproof on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I knew it was gonna happen, like I would just make waterproof shoes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's similar question but different area.
Okay.
Never wear underwear again, or once a day, you have the sensation that you've pissed yourself for an hour, and then it goes away.
Ooh.
Or no, the sensation that you've shit yourself for 30 minutes.
Ooh. Like it feels like there's shit in there.
Yeah, and like that awkward movement, you can like feel it there.
You gotta like waddle.
Yeah, but it doesn't smell though.
Okay, and it goes away.
And it goes away.
Oh, so I have a question. Is it the sensation, or is there shit in your pants?
There is basically shit in their pants. It doesn't smell, and it will go away.
It doesn't
and be
smell,
clean.
but it feels like it. But when it's gone, it's like it never happened.
Yeah.
Ooh.
How important is underwear to you?
It's important.
Mm.
I have a loophole, and I'm assuming you'll shoot it down. But can you just substitute it for something that's not underwear, but like it's a second layer? Like, could you wear like? Obviously, I feel like briefs, boxers, all that, like you can't do because that's a form of underwear. But like even just like basketball shorts that I could just wear under like pants. Although that's kind of actually it's not that bad.
Basically,
can I do that?
I guess yeah, but it has to be something that's just like not like tight fitting, like something that like
sure,
it feels like
it's gotta be loose.
It feels like you're wearing nothing down there. The only I think the workaround that I would use is a lot of like swimmer shorts or sport shorts will have that like mesh material that kind of works like underwear. That's allowed.
Yeah,
but just no actual underwear.
That's allowed. Okay.
Like if you're wearing swimmer shorts and they have that built-in mesh, that can be there because it's not.
Yeah, but
underwear.
I don't really like that stuff. Yeah,
exactly. I don't like it either.
It kind of sucks. I don't really like it. I want the underwear. Give me the weird sensation.
Yeah,
I could maybe get used to it.
I think I'd have to go
it's
with
hard.
that, man. I can't lie.
Yeah. I feel like with so many of these what ifs, if it's a once a day thing, I feel like you just get used to it at some point. You're like, oh, it's there. Here's the deal. You might not know if you didn't shit yourself. Like, if you actually shit yourself, you wouldn't know. You'd be like, oh, this is the thing that's happening today. I say that. I also don't know the last time I shit myself.
Me neither.
So, I guess that's not too much of an issue.
Yeah. No, I think I'd go without and just, like, figure some shit out. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'd figure it out.
I'd tape my balls down or something. Go drag queen style.
Yeah. Gotta tuck.
Because that's the main thing with underwear. It's just like keeps it
supportive.
Keeps it tight, yeah. So
keeps it nice.
Oh well.
I don't know. I also think you just get used to commando.
Yeah. Like when I was
like
when
clearly
I was
people
a kid,
used to go commando.
More. Yeah.
Sure. Actually, yeah. How bad would it actually be? Just go in commando. I couldn't tell you the last time I've done it.
There are certain clothing types that would be really difficult. Like wearing jeans commando is like hell.
Yeah, that would suck. But you would just not.
I just wear shorts all the time, really. And you can get away with it.
Yeah, but what if you need to be in more of like a professional setting? You gotta wear a suit and you're like trying not to like catch yourself in the zipper. Not fun.
No.
Can you see that there is a poop-like object in the underwear from the outside? Because I think if you I mean, I guess the question is how easy can you see if someone shit themselves?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you can see it that much.
You'd have to be looking. I don't know how much you could see it.
No.
It might be a little lumpy around the butt, but it's like not that obvious.
Yeah.
Imagine having to explain to someone, they're like, did you shit your pants? You're like, actually, no. I got this curse on me, you see? And every day, it's like I shit my pants. But I didn't.
And it goes away.
And they're sitting there like, and it goes, and I promise it goes away. And they're like, okay, dude, sure. You got cursed.
So no, just
You're
wait.
like,
Just
no,
wait.
no,
Just,
I swear.
just stay here for 30 minutes with me. I
Just
promise.
wait 30 minutes.
I promise it will go away. You'll be
Just
amazed.
wait 30 minutes. I'll take my pants off. And they're like, okay, dude.
You can become a magic, like,
Hold up.
you can go into the fucking circus, become a performer.
Yeah, you could.
The unshitter.
The worst part is it's a random part in the day, so you just don't know. You have a whole crowd just sitting there. You're like, hasn't happened yet. Hasn't. I'm waiting still.
Hasn't happened. Yes!
Yeah! Everyone's cheering, but everyone's also been there for like 8 hours. They're like, woo!
Yeah. And they just leave. It's like, wait, it hasn't gone away yet. Oh, we're done, man. We're tired.
Yeah, I know. We just. Well, what's more, I feel like it going away is the magical part.
Yeah, true. True.
Because if not, you could just have someone that shits themselves.
Yeah.
And it's not really that impressive. That's just really old people or like toddlers.
Okay, well, this is a question I saw on some other podcast or something.
Okay.
Do you think you could, like, piss or shit yourself on purpose? Because obviously we've been so programmed to only do that when on the toilet.
Sure.
If you felt the need to shit, do you think you could just, like, in your chair, just, like, shit yourself? I don't know if I could.
Okay, so piss myself 100%. I think that'd be really easy.
Really? I think it'd be more difficult for me to piss
well,
myself.
okay, maybe not on command, but like if you're drinking enough water, I feel like it's easier to be like, oh, I kind of need to pee. I'm just gonna push.
Okay.
I don't know. You also pee more often in the day, so like I feel like that's easier. Yeah. I think it'd be harder to shit your. Well, I guess the thing is like you can kind of pee in any like position, but like usually I think it's harder to poop unless you've kind of. I maybe I don't actually know. Like if you got your legs up, it's easier.
I think it would
to
take
do
a lot of mental effort for me to do that.
Sure.
It'd be a struggle.
No, I think it'd be a struggle. I think it's, yeah. I don't know about all the time. Like it's got to be ready or like somewhat ready.
Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't want to.
No, of course
I'm
not.
putting that out there. We don't want or do. We don't do this. Everyone's sitting there going, are they pissing themselves?
Right now?
Do they shit themselves?
They just see like a yellow liquid come out behind your camera.
I like shift and it's just like, it's just, sorry, I was slightly disgusting.
I couldn't even hear that. I just saw you go like that. I was like, chat.
Oh, that's not even what I was trying to do. I was trying to just make like a squish. Yeah, I just shift and there's just like a squishing sound.
Ew.
Like, oh, dude.
Vile.
Like sometimes you gotta shit yourself on the pod.
You stick to that, buddy.
I won't, probably.
Okay.
I've already bled today. Blood, sweat, and tears, Dan. That's what I put into this podcast.
Yep.
Anyways.
Next one.
Next one. Let's see here.
What you got, big buddy boy?
Would you rather join a cult or never speak to anyone again?
Join a cult.
Yeah.
Bro, if Scientology can get me moving like Tom Cruise, fuck yeah.
True.
And if it can get me mad bitches, which a lot of cult leaders get, because like most cult leaders are
No. But here's the deal. You're not a cult leader.
Oh,
you're like an actor.
So most cults are like sex cults. Like the majority of them are pretty much just all sex cults. So like, what's the worst? Like, I'm not like one of those people that are stupid enough to be actually genuinely indoctrinated by like a cult leader. I just wouldn't happen, because the cults prey on people that are like mentally weak or have had like a downfall of depression. It just, I just would not get mind.
You just kind of be there for the vibes. Do you think they look at you and they're like, "Why are you here?" And you're like, "Cursed." I answered a "Would you rather" question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
It was this or not talking to anyone. They're like, "Yeah, that would suck."
Low-key, I think if I joined a cult, I'd just basically be there. I wouldn't say much, but I'd just silently judge everyone and just have a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on the cult, because I think there are some cults that are definitely more like, there's like more hippie, like weird sex cults, which is like, they're fun, but like they're kind of weird. And then there's the like midsummer kind of cults.
There are some bad ones.
There are some bad cults. What are you gonna do?
Breaking news, guys.
Hot takes today. Some cults are bad.
Yeah, probably cult. Probably cult.
Yeah, probably cult. Could be fun. And it's also like if you get out of the cult and people are like, "Oh, so like what's interesting about you?" And you're like, "I was in a cult." And like icebreakers for days.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just start walking up to random people. "Hi, I was in a cult." And they're like, "We can tell you're fucking weird." There was people I'm like, I don't know if you ever experienced this. I feel like you didn't. There would be people on my college campus that I'm pretty sure were in a cult. And they would like go around and they'd like they'd like just be in the middle of campus and they'd ask questions and they'd just be like, "Hi, you want to talk about religion today?" And 99% of people are like, "No, I'm going to class, bye."
There was a bit of that. The bigger one we had on my campus was there was a giant, like really big socialist group that would always stand on like the most busy like intersection on the university campus and be like, "Hey, socialism." And they'd even like, at the start of one of my semesters, they'd go into classes. First class of the year, they'd go into a class and give like a 10-minute presentation about their socialism cause. And they'd try and like masquerade it as being like this great thing and not actually mention like socialism at all. And then like give out flyers and tell you
like it would feel like a pyramid scheme.
It would just feel like they're just trying to build like a nice community with other people from the university. But then it's like, you're just like, you're like kind of weirdly cultish.
Interesting.
It was weird.
Huh.
I don't know how
ours
they're so
was
popular.
like a religious cult.
Yeah, religion's not as big in Australia as America, so you get more political shit. Which
religious
I'm sure
cults
you have as well.
Are the. I mean, I think on any college campus you're gonna get some people who will be displaying their political ideologies, and that's just how it is. And that's fine. I always think it's funny when like you go to a super white liberal school and there's people who are like just shouting out white liberal ideas, and it's like, yeah, all of us agree. You're talking to the wrong people. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Religious cults are weird.
They are, and all religions started out as cults, and that's a fact. As much as people won't believe it, that's how they are formed. They start with a small group believing in people.
There's a big similarity.
Like what is a cult? It's like a cult. I think the definition is a group of people that follow one person, because a cult is like following a singular person at the top of their thing. What was the start of like Islam? People following Muhammad. That's technically a cult, and now it's religion.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on the religion. I'm just saying that's like genuinely how
there are similarities. There's some similarities here. I read an interesting one, which I feel like, I don't know, I'm curious to see your opinion, but I feel like there's kind of an obvious answer because they're not terribly comparable. Would you rather fall into a black hole or down a sinkhole?
Oh, that's a stupid fucking question.
Thank you. Okay, cool. We're on the same page here.
Like if you assume you survive,
one is just an astrological like event, and one's just like
a sinkhole.
Living in Florida.
Like let's say you survive both situations, the black hole, because it's interesting. But in general, you're not gonna fucking survive a black hole. Like what?
You're probably dying. You're dying from that black hole.
And
the sinkhole,
you have a chance to survive.
You might die.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's kind of a weird one.
That's dumb as fuck. What? Like, the idea of falling into a black hole for, like, curiosity reasons is really interesting to me. Because, like, the further you go in a black hole, depending on how big the event horizon is, the world speeds up around you. It's like, you'll be in the black hole for 5 minutes, but the world has gone through 10 billion years, and you will just be able to see it going on out there. So that's really cool. But you'll just die, probably.
You probably just won't survive.
Yeah.
That we know.
Yeah, weird one.
Yeah. All right, let me keep strolling.
Well, actually, I have a question.
Okay.
Your space talk got me onto it. So, First of all, there's a quote. I don't know who said it originally, but there's a quote that has gone around over the years that we are currently born too late for the age of exploration of the Earth and too early for the age of exploration of the stars.
Yes.
My question to you is, would you rather be born in the time period of exploring the world? So, like, whether it's exploring the Americas or even earlier exploring Europe, or would you rather be born into the future where you can explore other planets and other solar systems?
Ooh. Oh, that's an interesting question.
And with the space question, we're gonna assume we find a way to travel faster than light, and you can get from like Earth to the next solar system within like a few days or weeks.
Or even just like around the solar system, travel is like significant. Like you can get to Mars in like a couple days instead of like multiple years, and it's like we can inhabit it and all that shit.
Yep.
I feel like space, because it's such a hypothetical that it could be interesting. But are we saying like traveling to another solar system would be like traveling from Europe to America on a boat? Like that kind of time frame?
Yep.
Okay. I feel like space is scarier, but potentially more interesting.
Yeah.
However, I'm slightly struggling because I am playing the Uncharted games right now. I'm replaying all of them. And like it's just on about a lot of like 15th century, like 14, 13, whatever, all the century like Europeans who travel the world, and I think like that's super interesting.
It is. But with space, you might come across a planet where they have their own history, and you might join their age exploration.
True.
That's the thing.
Probably space. I think there's more possibilities, but it's also, in hindsight, we know what there is to find on Earth. They didn't necessarily.
Yeah.
True. They didn't know how much bigger it was or like what else there was to find. But I think the rules were pretty definite. Like you knew roughly what you were going to find on Earth. We're like, fuck if we know what we're going to find
in space.
Yeah, I think space because it's more interesting. But like, honestly, both are very good options.
Both are really cool.
Yeah.
For sure.
You?
Probably space as well.
Yeah.
I think we're currently stuck in the area where the exploration that we can do is sort of like the digital space, which is cool in itself, but not as interesting as like going to a different planet or whatever.
No, God, no. It's because it's not real.
Yeah.
Like it is and it isn't.
Yeah, that's going to be a really strange blurred line in the future about like, is virtual reality real or not?
Yeah. I hope I don't have to experience that blurred line.
I hope I do. It sounds cool.
It sounds cool, but like if it's at the point where it's psychologically fucking with you, I don't really.
No, I think the extent that I would like is like the Ready Player One Sword Art Online type level, where it's like there is still a clear distinction between reality and the game or the other world, but it feels just as real in either one.
Oh no, I think that's cool. I think the idea where you almost sit here and go, I don't know what real life is, that I'm not necessarily here for. I feel like we'd have to be young when it got that possibility, because I think if you're old enough to know real life, you just wouldn't get to that situation, or at least I don't think I would get to that situation where, like, let's say in 10 years VR is so good that like you have those moments where you're like, I don't even know it's real because everything I do in VR feels so real. Yeah,
we'd be able to tell.
I feel like we'd be able to tell. I also feel like we're relatively technologically intelligent, at least for like a common person. Obviously, people who are like super, like in the tech industry might, but like there are old people who are like, everyone can see my emails, and it's like, no, grandma, only the people you sent can see your emails.
Yeah, or if you show like, this is gonna sound slightly not racist, but if you showed like a hologram to like people in Africa who've never used a computer,
sure,
they might be confused about whether it's real or not. To be honest, like even today.
Sure. if they've absolutely never seen that before, yeah.
Yeah. Like even
But
I didn't even need to use that example. Even like at the moment, I can show my mum like a video game, and she's like, "Is that real?" It's like, no, it's a game, mother.
There's oh my god, there's this like Utah senator that replied to a tweet on Twitter, and it was like a very clearly AI generated video of this person who was like, I'm going on this really cool slide, and they're in like an infinity pool. Like near the coast, but they're like relative, they're like a couple 100 feet probably above like sea level, or maybe just like 100 feet, and they're going on this slide. I wish I could find it, and it's so clearly like not real because he starts going, the slide is just kind of floating, like there's nothing really holding it, and then he goes off the slide and there's just nothing, and then he lands back on another section of the slide, and it's like he's going way too fast. And also nothing is supporting that slide for this to be real. And there's like a Utah senator who responded and was like, oh my God, is this real?
That's
no.
So that's amazing.
No, it's not. This guy is flying. There's absolutely like the audio is not really indicating that. Because if someone recorded that in real life, unless they had super professional stuff, it would just all be like wind noises and it would sound like shit.
Yep.
And it's like, no, it's not real. It's fake. It baffles me what people think are like real. And like some AI is really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's so much that like every time I'm like, yeah, man, AI is getting really good. I'll see something on the internet and I'm like, that's so bad, or it's so obvious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see here.
Got another spicy boy for us?
I'm trying to look. I've gone through the weird ones on Cosmopolitan. Now we're on to the hard ones, and they're just like real questions.
Let's get real then.
The problem is some of them I know the answer to. Okay, so one of them is like, I'll ask you this. Would you rather get wildly famous and rich on social media, but secretly know that you bought all of your followers? Or earn a reasonable wage at a job you have been honest about?
Give me those bought followers, baby. Like, fuck that. Who cares?
Yeah, honestly, like, shit, if you can make money, I actually don't know.
So are we saying that like it looks like I have followers, but no one actually follows me? Or did I buy them all and they do follow me?
Well, the thing is, you're famous and rich.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were just famous but not rich...
So it's implying you're famous, so even if you bought them, they still support you. Like, who fucking cares? Like, yeah, it's arguably shitty, but at the end of the day, if they're still following you... Because like, that's the thing with buying followers in real life. If you buy followers, if they don't like your content, they're not going to continue, like, following you.
Yeah.
So if you're famous, it means...
Unless you keep paying them money.
Yeah, it means that you've bought followers, but you're still successful. So, yeah.
I think the problem is feasibly in this situation, if you're rich and famous, but the only reason that is that you've bought all of your followers, the question is, would you have money at that point? Because if you're paying people to follow you to make you rich, I feel like the amount of money you need to pay them is less than what Instagram would then, or like social media would then give you back. Because like social media doesn't really pay very well.
Well, some parts
for the most part, like Instagram and TikTok, like don't.
No,
I don't necessarily count YouTube as social media.
Yeah, I'd still do that. Yeah, fucking rich.
Okay.
I don't really care about the famous part, but just being rich, yeah, sure, why not?
Sure.
People do way more underhanded shit to get rich than buying followers.
That's true. Dan, would you rather stop aging at, let's say now, or if there's like a time where you feel like you were more peak? I'm going to say after 18, but like stop aging. And maybe you die at like the same time that you would die, but it's just kind of like you just expire.
Yep.
Like you don't age, like you're still in good health. Or would you never have to sleep or like you would never need to sleep in order to function, so you essentially get an extra 8 hours a day.
Yeah, never need.
Or for you, 3 hours a day.
Never need to sleep. Definitely that.
Yeah.
I think
I feel like the productivity,
no
or
aging thing,
not even productivity, just like the stuff you could do.
Yeah, the no aging thing is like cool, but I think you would struggle to develop any meaningful relationships if you stopped aging.
Yeah, because it's
like, how am I going to be
think
like
it's a lot
50-year-old?
harder.
I'm not going to be a granddad and look like this. Like, it's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of weird. And I also feel like the never need to sleep to function. I feel like you still could.
Yeah, you can still take a nap if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm sure you
because
could.
like it is nice to just shut your brain off.
Yeah.
I guess I'll add the caveat. You can't sleep.
Yeah, I'd still do it. You could probably still just like lie down, eyes closed, listen to music, and just like kind of turn your brain off.
Yeah, I guess
I do that whenever I get like a headache or something, or I'm bored. I will literally just put on like an eye mask, put music on, and just lay there, and I don't think for like an hour straight. I'm not sleeping, but I'm just kind of like not present, and that kind of gets the same job done. As long as you still have all the same benefits of being well rested and like all the shit that sleep does for you, then yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's chill.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Be so nice. Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh no, okay, I think let me try and remember. I had another question I heard on another thing that was similar in terms of the non-aging thing.
Okay.
I
will continue to look for better things or other things.
Trying to remember it because it was a really interesting question.
Oh, we could go through the would you rather questions for couples.
We could.
We could.
All right, I don't think this is the exact question, but I'll say it anyways.
Okay.
Would you rather stop aging as you are right now, and live for, let's say, 10,000 years?
Okay.
Or
essentially immortal.
Essentially, for all like realistic purposes, or like
sure.
say you live until the end of the human race on Earth.
Sure.
So that could be 10,000 years. That could be 10 million years. You don't know. Just
okay.
Until you are the last human left, then you die.
Okay.
But you stay 22 years old exactly as you are right now. You can change your body, get fitter or whatever, but you're not aging.
Sure.
Or
but like you're not aging.
You die right now.
Oh. I mean, initially I sit here and I go, I want to live because I don't want to die right now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't kill myself.
Nope.
I guess that's the question. I feel like I think we've kind of done this before.
Probably similar. No, you can't. You'll always be alive until you're the last person living. Then you get a kill switch. But again, like I said, you don't know how long that could be. That could be 1,000 years. That could be 10 trillion.
What if I caused it?
If you wanted to, sure.
I think. I mean, I don't know how easy that would be.
Set off all the nukes.
But what if I was just like, I'm done. I'm getting a hold of nukes.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Make it your life's goal.
Yeah.
I think I'd be immortal. Can other people kill me?
Nope.
Okay. Like I'm truly immortal until like the human race is dead.
Yep.
Huh.
And you don't age whatsoever.
Yeah, I think I'd take that because like you lose a lot of relationships, or not lose it, but like you lose the meaning in a lot of relationships because like what's someone that lives for 50 years when you live for 10,000?
Yep.
However, I feel like you can almost find new meaning in life. Like you could still find meaning in those relationships, but you maybe have other purposes in life where you're like, this is what I am doing. And that could be whatever, but like, yeah, I don't know. You'd have so many kids, probably.
Yeah,
I mean, you could choose not to, but like
yeah.
The amount of people that could be like, you could just destroy Kangaskhan and be like, I actually have a higher percentage of people that are related to me.
You could probably get like almost all, to be honest, at some point. Probably.
Or
would it be a smart decision?
Just like,
or would it be a smart decision to get yourself what's the fucking word? Well, you can't have kids anymore. Vasectomy.
Oh, a vasectomy.
And then just
I'd probably do that because then you just wouldn't have to. Yeah, I think I'd have kids like once, maybe twice, depending on how much I like it, and then just like vasectomy and then never do it again.
Yeah, I'd definitely stay immortal. I think I've told this to you a bunch. I would pick up mortality every day.
Yeah.
I think
I think there are like problems with it, but
about the world is too high.
Look, I think if the question was like, would you rather die at a normal time or be immortal? I think is a harder question. I think you just ask if I died now, I'd be like, well, no, I don't want to die now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The immortal thing is interesting. I'd be curious how powerful you could get. Like at some point, do you like? Because I feel like at some point someone's gonna go on the news and be like, something's up with this guy. And people would find out, but like, do you like?
I think.
Look, here's the deal. You can make a cult out of that.
I think if you are immortal, within 1,000 years you become a god.
Yeah, probably.
I think probably less than that. I reckon within.
Unless you really try hard not to.
If you're not,
I feel like
if you're not aging and you make yourself known to the public space, I generally think within 100 years you could practically become a god.
Yeah.
You could make people believe you're the embodiment of Jesus Christ or some other religion pretty easily.
Honestly.
Because you say, like, look,
because if no one else can replicate it.
And they can't kill you either. You can say, oh, you can try and shoot me, stab me, all you want. I can't die.
I guess the question is at that point, are you a god? I mean, no.
No.
Because you can't control other things, but like.
That'd be fun. Just play God for a couple 100 years, fade into obscurity, come back.
Yeah.
Your superiority complex would be crazy, though.
Potentially. I feel like I really try hard not to, but yeah, I think it would, because you're just like, I can just do anything.
Oh.
That could have... I feel like I would try... I feel like morbidly I would try a lot of ways to kill myself.
I think you just have fun, just like jump off a building. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Would it hurt? I guess that's the question.
I think probably
it doesn't hurt.
I think probably at least a little bit. Like it's not like you can't feel any pain, but it like
sure.
I think you'd heal like pretty quickly or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'd do that. Could be fun.
Yeah. Why not? Good time.
If you become powerful enough, you can just flip the switch at any point. Because if you get powerful enough to like hold on to nukes,
true. Yeah.
You could just be like, you know what? I'm done. Everyone's dead.
Or you can. I mean, you can stop humans from leaving Earth, and then Earth is destined to be eaten by the sun in a few billion years. So that's like a hard time limit.
Yeah, but you gotta live a few billion years. That's a long ass time.
It's better than a few quintillion or more, which the universe is actually going to last.
True. I mean, true. I guess it's all relative, isn't it?
I also wonder with the immortality like theory, at what point does the human mind is not able to comprehend any more memories? Like, at what point do you just go clinically insane?
Oh yeah. Well, at some point, like you don't have the storage. Like, do you just start deleting old memories to make new ones?
I would imagine so.
Or can you not take in new memories?
I think you delete old memories because that's how the brain works. Okay. That's how the brain works normally. Like when you were five, you could remember pretty much every day of your life when you were 5. How many days when you were 5 can you remember now? I got like 4 maybe.
Yeah, none. Yeah, I guess I'll ask a final question. I think we can wrap it up from here. At what point, if you stay the same, does the human race evolve beyond you?
Oh, yeah, that's true, because you wouldn't evolve at all.
Because they'll keep evolving, and feasibly, you won't.
You'd become like a primitive species to them.
Yeah.
I think...
that could change everything, because then you might not be a god. You might be like... in a zoo.
I think you'd have to lean, because you can't biologically, well, actually, to be fair, with how science advances, you might be able to biologically enhance yourself.
That's true.
I think you just have to lean into the fact of like, yeah, just like technologically and biologically enhance yourself over the years.
Yeah.
And if somebody doesn't work, it can't kill you, so just try shit, I guess. And then hopefully you'd still be fine. But yeah, that is it.
You just become like a test dummy. You're like, just try whatever is like too dangerous to actually try on people morally.
Yeah.
Make bank that way. Just be like, just do whatever you want to me and just pay me a lot of money.
Very smart.
Yeah. A lot of ways to go about it.
Mm-hmm. There is.
And the fun thing is, if you're immortal and you're going to live forever, you could try all of them.
You could.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun like show idea. Like a guy who's immortal, so he just spends his day like taking on a bunch of diseases and to help people find cures for them.
Yeah, honestly.
Or like he tests safety protocols at like different places. So, like he goes on a roller coaster and it fucking flies off. And he just survives.
There's a lot of good montages of this guy dying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great.
That would be great. Dan, you know what? That was a fun time. I enjoyed these little hypotheticals.
Me too. I enjoy good hypo.
Good. Love a good hypo. Whatever that means.
And hypothetically, if you subscribe, you might get more
There
women.
you go. Look, it hasn't been proven to not be true.
Exactly. And that's how
And logically
theories work.
speaking, yes, it is. And look, theories have been right before.
The Big Bang
and no
Theory.
one's tested this. True.
The TV show.
The TV show made a lot of money.
Game Theory.
Game Theory.
Matt Pat.
All right, I think our brains have officially died.
Yes.
And we're just saying words at this point.
That's all we will ever do, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Well, if you want
all
more
right,
of
guys,
this,
thank you.
We will be back. We've also started to upload things on TikTok and Instagram Reels. So if you want more short form content, go there. If anyone's still
Check
watching, we love you.
We love you. We love the 2 people that are still watching right now. Or listening. Either way.
Yeah. And with that, we will leave you.
Bye.
I hate this man with a burning passion.